What's up guys, this is Kevinhwsohn bringing you with a new video. This is my new Famicom, and literally, name suggests, and even though in the reality, this is my new Famicom, because as you can see, my original HVC 001 Famicom died already, and this new Famicom, I scrounged up all of my money and then just save it up just to purchase this one, and I'm having a blast with the new Famicom as a whole. Today it's a special occasion because I did some little bit of modding, not for the Famicom, but rather it's for the controller itself, but we will get into that in a second. The reason why I did this mod from the start and my desire. As you can see, this is very different from the HVC 001 Famicom in terms of the design. The design doesn't really supposed to know what it really wants to be, but it's a very nice looking system. Probably next to the Wii in my opinion, to be honest. This is a very nice looking system, and the controllers are now detachable as well, unlike the first Famicom where it was like hardwired, and it uses the same port as the NES port. And this is the reason why I wanted to do the little bit of mod. It also goes with the little bit of style after the well, in the United States, you might be seeing this going style after the Super Famicom or Super Nintendo style of pushing up the lever, because the NES toaster didn't have this lever thing. I never grew up with the NES, and yes, this is compatible with the NES controller, but it does come with the own controller, but we'll get into that very second. Going through the little bit console, it still has the expansion port, so that the Hudson Joy cards and the Hori Famicom pads are still compatible. And the best thing about this new Famicom is that it's a little bit more high definition than the original HVC 001 Famicom. I mean, sure, AV out doesn't seem too much. Nowadays people are going for the high definition HDMI or something like that, but AV out is still a big, huge improvement compared to the original Famicom, because it was more of a higher definition, and it was easy to hook up, and everyone was happy. What more could you ask for? And AV Famicom from the start, I'm not complaining about this controller, by the way. I do think this is a decent controller. This is the original AV Famicom controller that bundled with. It's styled after the Super Famicom, or aka Super Nintendo style of the controller, with the rounder edges. Bit comfortable to grab, and this one was so close for being a really good NES controller. Just the minor things just got into me. The buttons, they felt a little bit softer in my opinion, at least in comparison to the NES controller and the original HVC Famicom controller, which I will be showing that in a second. But buttons felt a little bit softer. I didn't like the angle. I mean, some people prefer the angle this way. Well, I personally prefer angle downwards angle, so I don't know, this is a decent control, but it just didn't really do for me. The original NES controller, model NES 004 controller, the clickiness of the button, it feels just, it feels like the right gaming and all that. But I gotta say, the sharper edges got a little bit worn out for me. I mean, it's okay, I guess, after a little bit while of gaming session, but still, I think I prefer I think I'm more used to with the Famicom controller layouts, or the Famicoms that I grew up with either have the most of the rounder edges and all that, so I don't know, this little bit of sharp edgy corner wasn't doing too much for me. When I used to have a working HVC 001 Famicom, I prefer the rounder edges controllers, and I kind of missed that one out. So for a few weeks, I decided to use Oopsie, out of the shot, but whatever. But I decided to use this really nice Bluetooth 8-bit Do's Retro FC30 controller. The 8-bit Do and analog, yes, the fellows who made the analog NT made this little device known as retro receiver, and it plugs straight into it, right so, and then you turn on the system and then the controller will boot up. I was happy because the controller just worked flawlessly, but it felt more like the Super Nintendo style of the controller, I thought myself. Not to mention this one's like the grip is really tight. Not a huge complaint. I mean, it means that it fits snugs right into the console, but at the same time though, I'm just afraid like I might actually like damage the system and all that. So while 8-bit Do was a pretty good solution, but still I still just couldn't get it over with the whole feel of the original HVC 001 Famicom, and that's why there it is, HVC 001 controller. And you might be asking, what am I doing? And there it is, boop! It's connected to the NES or AV Famicom in this case. But this can be used on the regular NES port console, as long as it has the 7-pin controller input. This will fit in. This is not really a huge groundbreaking mod. It's a really basic mod. Compare side-by-side comparison with the NES controller and the original Famicom controller. These two have a similar layout. So does for the both of their motherboards and all that. So it's really easy to swap the external and then just like keep the same internals. So I just I did some bit of a cleaning with this controller a bit today. Just the cleaning in internal circuit board, just like clean them up and all that. And you might be asking what happened to the original controller for this one. Well, yeah, the second controller is still intact. And here's the NES controller, just attached to the hardware system. It's hardwired now. It's old. This was actually the broken NES controller, so I just changed the internal. I wiped it out and just like just plug it in here. Just fix everything with the circuit board and all that today. So what more could you ask for? This is a pretty weird fit though. What we'll be testing though is this little mod job that I did. Let's give it a test run, shall we? Alrighty, so the Famicom's ready to go with the testing this little particular mod I did. I will be demonstrating some of the gameplay with this particular controller with the this little multi-cart right here, Super 4-in-1. Some variations of the different types of genres of NES game. I thought this card might be a good example for demonstrating some of the abilities, quote-unquote abilities, for my little, just real basic mod. And I'm really satisfied. I miss the overall feel of the original Famicom controller, you know? We're gonna give a little test run. So first up, Rekka. I made the review on this game recently, so be sure to check it out. It's the link down in the description. But anyway, we're gonna test this out with the controller, pushing start, ready to go. Alright. I want to see, the main reason why I'm testing Rekka is to, just to see how the diagonal performs. Moving in 4 directions been alright, but the diagonal seems to be a bit iffy, mainly because the board for this thing is like really super dirty, but still works though. I mean, and I suck at this game. Yeah, for this type of game, doesn't really justify too much, but other than that, if you get past with that, it's quite usable. Alright, moving on to the next game. Let's see this time how the tapping on the A and B button will do the trick. Mitsume got Toto. Really amazing game. And the controls for the platforming game seems to be fine. Seems to work well. Satisfied. Not unpleasant to use. Buttons are all responsive. Oh well. Furthermore, with the testing, we're gonna try out the Master Fighter 2 fighting game, which consists of the up button as the jump for the most part, and also this requires with the angular angle movement as well. And I hope for the fighting game the controls a bit more lenient. So, and spoiler alert, I suck at this game, so don't judge me. So far, up and jump seems to work fine. Even though I suck at jumping, I can only do the, I'm not really a Street Fighter guy, but still. I never got the combo moves for the, well, got killed. Seems to work fine. For the simple platforming game, I mean, like, you're not, like, using, like, the whole 8 directions after all. The downward works fine as well. I feel like the D-pad is a bit stiff, only when you're moving like the angular. Especially for the angular left upward. Other than that, it works pretty good. Platform game wise, this should work really well. Buttons are all responsive. Tapping the B button like crazy. Ooh, I got something. Ah, damn. So the 4 directions, up, down, left, right, does work fine, but when you do the little bit of trick with the angular upward and all that, that's when it gets a bit iffy, especially the left side. And I got killed, but what do you know? As long as the controller works fine, I think everything is just great. Well, that's it for today's little bit of short blog series. And just keep on staying tuned. I might do the little bit touch on this controller as well. As you can see, even with the it's not really perfect. The gold plate is just like all scratched up and all that. I just need to figure out the replacement for this gold plate for the controller, and then the controller will look neat as it is. And then also working a bit of a on a D-pad, properly replaced with the some other D-pads, or clean the internals a little bit more. But other than that, I'm satisfied with this work. It's again really basic mod, just to replace the external, but still, I'm happy with what I have with the final product for now on. But I'll be keep on making it better, I suppose so. This was Kevinhwsohn for the short blog. Signing off. Peace out.